Hey rock and rolls, last video about my shit ankle. Well, maybe there'll be more if it keeps being shit. In terms of treatment and when it's been there for a while, the other things that you have to sort of think about, right? Now, my shit ankle, there wasn't an incident, nothing happened, but there was a catalyst. And often with acutely painful things, like, I bent over to pick something up and my back hurt, there is a catalyst. So we're not necessarily blaming bending forward, but it would be silly to suggest that it didn't happen from bending forward. So we can try and remove the cause from the movement but agree with the person that there was a trigger, right? There was a catalyst to the reaction. That for me is running around playing football in an increasingly aged and derelict body, right? So there's a thing. So very naturally, and again, this is why I think getting hurt as a clinician is really, really useful. Not like conditional on not, seriously hurting yourself, but go out and do things and get hurt. It's very educational. There was the thing that started it, and then there's everything that happens after that, which is basically my body going, how about we don't do that anymore? Because it would be easier, it would be less likely to hurt if I stop playing football, right? Sometimes the body can keep going and be like, well, geez, that was pretty bad. What about if it just doesn't use the foot at all? So avoid using it. I've got 2 feet, one of them's pretty good, the other one hurts. Let's just use the other one. And so these things happen without me being even aware of it, right? Fast forward a few months with the impending new football season and it still hurts. So the pain's not really getting to me, it's the fact that going and playing football with 2 good legs is hard enough for me, let alone one and a little bit, right? So go and do something about it. And as we mentioned in the last video, Justin Smith, podiatrist to the stars from Achieve Podiatry, used to treating elite level footballers and super intelligent beings. A lot of what he did was like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to not do the thing. So, because this is hard when you experience it, right? You can't think about it objectively. What happens is the thing that started it, or the catalyst, or the initial episode feels shit. So does everything that happens after. So very logically, particularly when it sticks around, the body thinks, oh, it's the same thing again. However, sometimes it takes that, and this is where, again, your value as a clinician comes in. You can look at things objectively and say, no, you can do that. For example, when I went to Justin, I couldn't do a single leg calf raise because it hurt too much. He did some treatment, we did a few things. I started calf raising, it still hurt, but since then I've done it a lot more and now it's a lot better. My body was like, hang on, that's the thing, it's the same, so we're not gonna do that. We're gonna not do a calf raise, we're not gonna walk on it. It keeps going in the direction of keeping me safe until there is evidence that it doesn't need to anymore, right? This is why effective treatment is so good at, particularly with non-pathological painful things, reversing this stuff, which is what every human body does in the presence of pain. It's like, hey, how about we don't do that? Sometimes that's good. Most of the time when it sticks around, that gets in our way. So a huge part of treatment is getting rid of that and just being left with this. The crazy thing is, after a long period of time, often this thing is gone too. And then we can crack on and get on with what we want to do. So when you're treating things that have been there for a long time, you're also looking for the ways that the body has tried to avoid the initial problem and ways that it has continued in that direction, merely trying to keep the person away from things that hurt, right? Part of our job is to know which ones are safe and which ones aren't, and also having an idea of the cost of pushing into it too hard. It's my ankle, I feel I'm the one who bears the cost of it when it flares up. I'm in control of how much I'm able to push it. It's safe for me to play football. If I want to go and play and have a sore ankle the day after, I can do that. What I have to do though, under Justin's guidance, is make sure that the foot is capable of doing what I want it to do, so it doesn't put me in harm's way of something else. So from then till now, it still hurts. It doesn't hurt as much, but it still hurts. But it's much more capable of doing what I want it to do. And a big part of that is because I'm not allowing the body to cut corners. I'm making the ankle do what the ankle was meant to do, because that's a good idea. And one of the main reasons I'm able to do that is because someone looked at it and said, yes, definitely you can do that. And that, the treatment side of it may not be very intense. Justin didn't do a lot to my foot, but that doesn't mean it wasn't very valuable. And this is from someone, this is another health professional, right? So I have knowledge of what he's talking about. That's even more important when this person has no idea what you're talking about, or, which is often the case when you're seeing people for a long time, they've seen 16,000 different people and they've got 16,000 different opinions of what it is. Clarity on what to do next, what is safe, what's okay, and the plan is often what people are really, really after.